Hi guys, my name is Karthik and I'm from executeautomation.com and welcome to another video from our Execute Automation. And today in this video, we are going to talk about how we can start writing code using the OpenAI's API. So this particular video is going to be mostly targeting towards how that you can use the power of the OpenAI's API to talk with different GPT models or the large language model, and then you can perform some action. Pretty much like what we're going to be doing in this particular lecture is we're going to be making use of the API from the .NET NuGet package, which is an official library released by the from the OpenAI, and then we are going to be integrating that into a console application of a .NET, and then we'll see how we can perform like a chatting, pretty much like how we do with the ChatGPT client. So in order for you to do that, you need to have an access to the OpenAI's API. And again, OpenAI's API is not free. You got to be getting a paid version of that. So in order for you to do that, you have to go to the products, and then you need to go to the API logins and do things of that nature. And also, yesterday there was this OpenAI Dev Day happened, and you can see there were quite a lot of different announcements happening these days. One of the most important announcements that I've seen exciting is going to be the introduction of the vision to fine-tuning the API, which is very good because they have also given one of the offer this time is that fine-tuning API over here is currently available for free until October 31st of 2024, like 1 million training tokens per day is free for you to fine tune with the GPT 4.0 with images. So you can use this particular model right now for a month at least for free. So I would recommend you to go and have a try with this one. It's really good. I'm going to be using this particular GPT 4.0, not the O itself, like a mini model, and it's going to be free. So I can fine tune that and do all sort of things over here. But again, it's really good because you have got also the real-time APIs and also the caching in the API and model distillations in the API. There are so many things happening in the OpenAI model. And again, with this API, I think that's the reason why I'm creating this particular video, because you can leverage the power of these APIs in your application and get a lot of things out of it. Not only that, I also got the course in Udemy just released like a week before, which is the using generative AI in software automation testing. So I would highly recommend you to go ahead and watch this particular course and also subscribe this particular course if you wanted to, if you are into software automation testing and if you wanted to get into the generative AI and power of generative AI in the automation testing, you can leverage the power using this particular course. And I've also talked about the APIs even more in this particular course, so you should get some idea on how it works and all those things. And also I've talked about the APIs in even more deeper fashion in this particular course, like how you can build your test automation code with an intelligence using the power of the generative AI, and also how you can perform the visual testing and comparison using the power of the generative AI using the OpenAI models. So that is the course, this one. So please go ahead and watch there if you wanted to really try it out yourself. But as that said, I'm going to show you how we can start writing the code in this particular version of the C#.NET code. So in order for you to do that, I'm just going to use the OpenAI .NET NuGet package, and this is the one, the OpenAI 1.110. This is like a official library released by the OpenAI guys. So you can just use this particular library. It has got quite a lot of different namespaces, and you can see that it has got assistance, audio, batch, chat, embedding, fine tuning. This is the one which I'm talking about, the image fine tuning. And then you have also got the files, images, models, moderations, and vector stores. There are so many things that you can do with this particular library, pretty much like how you can do with the actual ChatGPT, but via code. And it gives you more power and flexibility for you to deal with that. And I'm going to show you a crisp of how you can do a simple chat, and also you can do a streaming chat in this particular video, so that you can see the power of this particular library. So I'm going to go to my Windows machine and I'm going to start writing the code. So for doing that, I'm first going to start installing the OpenAI NuGet package. So I've already tried that before, so that's the reason why it says uninstall. So I'm going to go ahead and install it this time. And I can start writing the code over here. So I have got this library already available, and I'm using the pre-release version. That's why it is in beta version. So please make sure that you also get the beta version because it has got some features which is not there in the full version at the moment. And I'm going to start writing the code over here. So I'm going to first say, I'm going to write a method saying void chat with the AI, and then I'm going to pass the query here. And this particular method, what I'm going to do is I'm going to call what is called as a chat client. So this is the client which is going to talk with the OpenAI. So I'm going to say client is equal to new, and over here you can see that we can pass the model and the API key. And again, there are many different models available in the ChatGPT, like GPT-4 or GPT-4o, GPT-4o mini. And the version which I'm going to be using is going to be the GPT-4o mini, this one. And then I also need to pass an API key. And this API key is something that you can obtain from the OpenAI APIs. So you can just go ahead and select this particular API and then go to the dashboard. And again, I have the API keys already in the user keys, as you can see over here, which I've just created. So I can just use this particular API key. So for the sake of the simplicity purpose, I'm just going to copy paste this particular API key over here so that I can start using it. That's my API key. And over here, I'm going to start writing the code. You can bring this API key from the environment variable if you wanted to, but for the simplicity purpose, at least for this demonstration, I'm just hard coding that value here. And once I have the client, I'm then going to perform the chat operation. So for doing the chat, we have something called as the user chat message, and this user chat message will help us perform the operation of chatting. And over here, I'm just going to pass the query that I'm getting in from this particular method's parameter over here. And this is the query which I'm going to be passing in to the ChatGPT. So the way I'm going to do it is I'm going to say var of the maybe update, something like that. And then I'm going to say client dot, and there is something called as complete chat. You can also use complete chat async method if you wanted to, if you want to write an async operation. But for now, at least I'm just going to leave them like a synchronous. So I'm just going to write this code, something like this. So this is the message which I'm passing in from the query. And once I get that response, then I can just print that value out. I'm going to write a very simple code, and then we'll make it a bit more complex with the streaming and stuff. So I'm going to say updates dot, and there is something called as a value. And then we also have got the content. And then I'm going to just get the first or default, like whatever response I'm going to get it. And then I'm going to print the text value. This is a very, very simple code. I'm just writing it. I'll make this code even better in a minute, but just bear with me. This is the first kind of code that you can write it over here. And then I'm going to say console dot write line over here, start chatting with GPT-4o mini model. And over here, I'm going to get the query as console dot read line. So it's going to get all the value, and then I'm going to pass it to the chat with AI, chat with AI, right? There we go. And I'm going to pass the query something like this over here. That's all. That's the code that I'm going to write. And once it is written, I'm then going to write a console dot write line as chat completed, something like that. Cool. That's the code. Very, very super simple code that I have written over here, and I hope it all makes sense because it's going to be a very straightforward code. So once I run this, you will notice that it is going to run a console application, which is going to be this one. So you say that start chatting with the GPT-4o mini model. And I'm going to say, how are you doing today? So once I do that, immediately you see that it goes all the way to the ChatGPT, and you get the response now that I am a computer. So I just don't have feeling, but here is the response coming up. But let's say in the terms of the automation testing, if I'm going to be asking, can you write a POM code with Selenium C# for google.com website. If I do it, you see that now there is a time taken to get the response from the OpenAI, because what's happening at the moment is it is getting the response, but it is giving you everything in a chunk immediately, and you get a whole response over here. This is all coming all the way from the GPT model. The API is returning that value for you over here. As you can see, it shows you that below is an example. So there is a setup operation, the Selenium WebDriver code, page object model structure. There's a Google page.cs file. This is the code that you got to be writing. And it also gives you a test where you're going to be writing the test code by using the page object model code and how you run the test. So everything is coming up for you over here. But it took some time for you to get the response, right? Like it shows you all the responses immediately. That's why we need to use what is called as a streaming service. So in order for you to do the streaming, all you have to do it is you just have to use this complete chat streaming message, something like that. So that's give you the streaming value. And over here, in order for you to print the streaming value, you're going to be using a for each loop over here. And over here, I'm going to start printing that value in the for each operation. So the way I'm going to do it is from the update, I'm going to write one more for each over here. And I'm going to say update dot, and there is something called as content update property, which is going to give you the response from each and every content that is going to be getting from the particular stream. And then it is going to be an update part, which I'm going to take it over here. And over here, I'm going to write console dot write. I'm going to write the update dot text. Update part dot text. Yeah. So that's going to print that particular value for me. Like this is going to be like a streaming of all the values, which is going to be printed for me once I get the response back. And now let's try to run the same exact demo that we just saw over here. But this time I'll write the Selenium with C# .NET code with POM for google.com website. So if I ask this time, you will notice that this time it is writing the code pretty much like how ChatGPT does, like streams the output for you. It doesn't wait for the entire operation to be executed. Rather, it prints all the value for you immediately, not like waiting for the entire time to complete, right? So that is how you do this operation using this particular API. So that is how that's how you use this particular API eventually within your code. And the next operation which I wanted to show you is how you can use the image within your code. So for instance, let's say I'm going to take an image from the medium.com. So if I just go to the medium.com, I think I have written some articles over here. So if I just go to my stories and in.com/executeautomation. So we have got a story over here. So let's say I'm going to get an image description or details from this particular image. So I'm going to copy this particular image address over here. And I wanted to ask them question based on this particular image. So if I wanted to do that, I can also do that over here. But the way I can do it is instead of me passing the user's chat message, I can use something called as a chat message. So I'm going to use this chat message, but this is going to be a list of chat message over here. And I'm going to say messages is equal to, because it's a list, I can use the shorthand form over here. And then I'm going to say new user chat message. So I can pass the user chat messages over here. And over here, I'm going to be passing few things, something like chat message content part. This is very important because this is going to be selecting which part of message that you want to pass in. So I'm going to say the create the text part, and over here I'm going to be passing the query, which is the query which I'm asking in from the method. And then I also can pass the image if I wanted to. So create image part. And over here, I can pass the image either as a binary data, or I can also pass it as an image URI. So I'm going to say new of the URI, and I can pass this particular URI that I have got over there, and I can close it something like this. So this is the user message, like user chat message that I'm passing in as a list of all the messages, like everything being compartmentalized over there. Now I can get rid of this particular query, like the message. Rather, I'm going to be passing the messages this time for the streaming API. So hope it makes sense. I'm just going to pass the text part and the image part to make that happen. And now if I try to run this particular code, you will see things will happen very amazing. So I'm going to be asking based on the particular image over here. So I'm going to say describe the image. That's the query because the image is already there. So once I hit that, you will notice that immediately now ChatGPT is analyzing the vision API. And then it says that the image appears to be a course outline or curriculum for a series of lectures about UI and API testing using generative AI based tools. It includes section titles, blah, 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 lecture details, topic covered, formats, and all those stuff. I can ask like a series of follow-up questions if I wanted to, but I should have the ability to do it. But you already got the idea, right? Like how this entire things are done over here with this particular coding practices. So with few lines of code, we could able to achieve how we can talk to the generative AI. We can also do like the voice operation, like asking questions pretty much like how the user does using this real-time API, which is released like yesterday. So we can also talk with the ChatGPT because it also has got the audio operation. So you can get the audio being streamed out, and then you can get the audio responses, and then you can easily integrate that within your application. These are all the fantastic things that we can do using the power of generative AI's API. I'm sure all these operations are very, very amazing for us to be excited with. And we can also use this not only for the application development, also for testing purpose. And that's what I have covered in my course, generative AI in software automation testing. So that's all about it for this particular lecture. So hope you got the idea. Once again, thank you so much for watching this video. Catch you in the next one. We're talking about some exciting news about generative AI.